Und es geht weiter. The first one reads, Ace requests door 1. Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why? No, we don't have time for that, sorry. Let's keep going. He opened the second one. Next is Santa, he wants door 6. Yeah, that's what I wrote. Jumpy continued with door a third, fourth and fifth piece of paper. Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2. Eh? Wait a minute. There's no way I'm going anywhere with this, Elephant Man. No, there'd be no point of voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that. But just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma. I'm not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes, barely. So, last I checked, that's not a crime. Maybe, but what about decency? Nobody wants to have a look at a chick who looks like a half-nackt raisin. Alter, I'm going to kill you. Nehmt euch ein Zimmer, ihr beiden. Notice they have let out like the mane of an angry lion, and she wrote with a voice that choked the word. With some difficulty, 8 minutes to restrain her. Jumpy, read the rest. Alright. Jumpy tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it. Jumpy wants door 6. June wants door 6. June. Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just feel like it. All of those papers, save Jumpy's, had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head. People who requested door 1 is like Ace plus Clover. This was the door on A deck, near the central staircase. People who requested door 2 is like 7 and Lotus. There was the door on the bottom deck. They reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the ship. People requested door 6 like Santa plus June. This was the door on E deck and could be reaching by taking the elevator near the central staircase. It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and spoke. Okay, the last one is mine. I want to go through... mal überlegen. Mit Santa und June wäre es an sich nicht schlecht. Santa und June waren Door 6, oder nicht? Dann nehme ich Tür 6 mit Santa und June, würde ich fast sagen. Door 6 war doch Santa und June, oder nicht? Ich hab's mir jetzt nicht gemerkt. I want to go through door 6. Jumpy flipped up the piece of paper. I read through Jumpy, door 6. Of course it did, he didn't read it after all. That's a problem. June spoke very above whisper, but they all know what she said. None of these teams will be able to go through the door they want. Clover and I choose door 1. Lotus and I choose door 2. There's not enough people to open a numbered door, however. The digital route doesn't match up either. We've got similar problems. June, Jumpy and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we are more open the door, we need a 1. Damn! What are we going to do now? What are we going to do? Jumpy crossed his arms and did his best to put his route in order. The others followed suit, but with a little respite. Eventually, Clover broke the silence. Why don't 7 and Lotus go through door 1? With me. Okay. Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each another. 7, 8, 4 ist gleich 19. 1, 9 ist gleich 10 plus 1 ist gleich 1. The first problem solved, Ace spoke up. What about me? Isn't it obvious? Wasn't one of these teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1? You mean I should join Santa's team? Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic little girl only a few hours ago. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so, I understand. I will go through door 6, then. If we do as Clover have suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door. No one will be left behind. This seems to be a most reasonable solution. 3, 6, 5, 1 ist gleich 15, 1, 5, 6. 7 Lotus, what do you guys think? I don't have a problem with that. Me neither. Alright, then we are good now. Okay. At least Jumpy and the other 6 had managed to separate into 2 teams. Clover, 7 and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was near the main staircase. Jumpy, June, Ace and Santa, however, took the elevator to E-Deck. Okay. The ride to E-Deck was a silent one. Alright, let's go. Santa's words jolted them to action and they stepped out of the elevator into a lone street. Na dann, auf geht's zu Tür 6. Before long arrived in front of door 6, one by one they put their palms over the red. With a soft and electric noise, it authenticated each one of them. Ich denke mal, jetzt noch ein letztes Rätsel gehe ich mal von aus, weil der für mich nicht mehr übrig. The door opened. All at once, the four of them leaped through it. Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they entered through. They gathered around it quickly and Harriet placed their palms in it for authenticating one by one. Das ging ja schnell. Wonach geht's dann sogar dieses Mal? It stopped. Yes, it stopped. The counter has been cased, but Jumpy's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat. He'd been through the doors 3 times before he repeated had no doubt the experiments. He was not anxious to find it out, however. He hoped to be free for the ridiculous game long before that happened. Alright, let's go. With that attempt, a good humored Jumpy ouch took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs and the end of the hallway. They found themselves starting at a long corridor, large door. It was a heavy thing made of iron and more than a little threatening. He took hold of the bar that served as its doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal, none of the accent of raw of title he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional but utterly tremendous. Wow, what the hell is this? Santa got a few words before awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps. It was an easily large room they'd seen, and yet it was somehow closed and oppressive. The ceiling was at least 2 stories height, is not significant more. It was easily several hundred feet across and apparent to stretch the entire width of the ship. In the center of that gargantuan room stood a massive rounded building. Even from a distance, the sheer bulk of it was oppressive. Jumpy could feel the room, the building, even in the air pressing down on him. Jumpy and the others were standing on a scaffold that crisscrossed the whole area. An der Stelle muss ich mal kurz was sagen an der Stelle. Um Gottes Willen, der Weltentwickler, bringt dieses Spiel in Deutschland raus. Wirklich, er könnte Erfolg haben. Ich finde es bislang richtig toll. Anfangs war ich übel skeptisch wegen den ganzen Textpassagen. Aber mittlerweile macht es richtig Spaß. Und ich fürchte, dass es mir Spaß macht, kurz bevor es zu Ende ist. Das ist mein großes Problem. Nur ich frage mich gerade, wie viele Enden es in dem Spiel wohl gibt, wenn ich bedenke, wie viele Einstellungen ich bislang hätte treffen können. Und vor allem, wie ganz Enden sind, frage ich mich gerade. Weil man bedenkt ja, es gibt ja sehr viele Entscheidungsmöglichkeiten, die man innerhalb dieses Spiels hat. Das heißt, nehme ich mal an, dass es gute und schlechte Enden gibt, gehe ich mal stark von aus. Wäre irgendwie logisch, weil so viele Entscheidungen, wie du treffen kannst, so viele Türme, wie du da wählen kannst, nehme ich mal an, dass es wirklich gute und schlechte Entscheidungen gibt. Und ich frage mich gerade ernsthaft, was die beste und was die schlechteste ist. Das frage ich mich gerade. Und vor allem, welche ich genommen habe. Alright, let's head downstairs. Nearby was a long iron staircase that made this way, eventually to the floor beneath seen. Wo sind wir jetzt eigentlich gerade? They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but as they approached building, Ace suddenly spoke up. This looks up the steam engine room. The steam engine room? Yeah, the thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. Do you see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Und ich würde mal sagen, was wir dann im Steam Engine Room erleben, sehen wir in dem nächsten Part, denn ich muss meine Platte frei bekommen, weil ich wieder neue Parts aufnehmen möchte. Bis zum nächsten Mal, euer Kitsune Snow.